Hey guys, SuperHorrorBro Mike here, and in today's video, we are going to be searching for secrets and Easter eggs as we explore some of the creepy things you may have missed while exploring Poppy Playtime Chapter 2. In a previous video, we took a look at all collectibles, VHS tapes, and audible cartoon cutouts found throughout this new chapter. But there are also plenty of other things hidden about which add to the general lore of the game world. So sit back, relax, and let's return to Playtime Co. in search of secrets. One of the first Easter eggs in Poppy Playtime Chapter 2 is found after travelling down Elliot Ludwig's personal slide. This playful method of transportation took the head of Playtime Co. quickly down from his office to the game station test area. Other prominent members of Playtime Co. also had their very own slides to quickly make their way down here, including researcher Stella Graber and head of security Leif Pierre. However, one name is mysteriously omitted. Perhaps the mysterious scientist heard on the VHS tapes.
I'm not worried about myself. One breakthrough and I'll be back. We must forge onwards in the name of science, whether those who are beneath us understand it or not.
It is highly likely we will discover who the nameplate belongs to in a future chapter, but for now all we can do is guess at what the lettering once spelt out. From the pegs the letters were fixed to, we can see the first name of this individual consisted of 5 letters, and their surname of 6 letters. The letters beneath the sign are displayed on screen now, so let me know your best guess in the comments section below. Children's drawings are found in several places throughout this second chapter. They seem to originate from the orphans who are used in Playtime Co.'s secretive human experimentation. These sketches may be simplistic, but they tell a sinister story. One corroborated by the notes from scientists and researchers who oversaw the Orphan Initiative program. While we don't have a concrete idea of exactly what these human experiments entailed, my general theory based on the evidence currently at hand is that human remains were placed inside the bodies of various toys, and then using a gel and poppy mixture in combination with a secret nutrient and electrical current were reborn inside the toys. This creating living toys with a level of human consciousness. Adult test subjects who ended up inside toys such as Mommy Longlegs and Huggy Wuggy became violent and aggressive toward their creators, but were strangely protective of the orphans under Playtime Co.'s care. Thus, these orphan children were allowed to mix with the living toy experiments, acting as a suppressor to their murderous outbursts. This is detailed in these pictures, where we can see child test subjects at the game station happily playing with Mommy, Huggy, and other toys. These drawings also hint towards another theory, that the children partaking in the game station test experiments would also go on to be killed and then reborn inside toys. Here is one example. In this picture we see a little girl with Candy Cat. She seems to be bonded with this toy and treat it as her favourite. Later we discover 2 notes detailing an orphan test subject by the name of Michaela Hyssop. This little girl was assigned Candy Cat as her toy during testing. By bonding with this toy, Michaela's body could be fused with it in death and reborn within, creating a living, breathing toy which could love its owner back. The next breakthrough in toy technology. It seems Playtime Co. was working towards perfecting this tech when disaster struck and the entire staff were killed by their own creations. Later in the stage we find the bloody remains of a Candy Cat, leaving us to wonder, was this Michaela's fate? You may remember from a previous video of mine where we sought out all of the different cardboard cutouts found throughout the factory, that they contain some creepy audio. If you didn't see that video or would like a refresher, here is a compilation of the questionable one-liners and nightmarish distorted sounds to come out of these cardboard figures when we interact with them.
What do you call this scariest dinosaur? Me. I'll squeeze you until you...
You need to get out of here. Just kidding! Go have fun!
I'm hungry for some delicious bones. Do you have some bones for PJ?
The button hurts me.
Push the button to feed me candy. Nom nom. Okay, no more candy. My tummy's full. Nom nom nom. I said no more. Nom nom nom. Stop. Nom nom nom.
This leaves us to wonder if the cutouts themselves are living entities, or rather windows into the despicable experimentation that occurred at the hands of Playtime Co.'s scientists, forever immortalized in these twisted recordings. While taking part in each of the 3 tests located throughout the game station, we encounter a unique hostile toy. Bunzo Bunny in Musical Memory, the mini Huggies during Wuggy, and PJ Pugapilla in Statues. Each game is then overseen by Mommy Longlegs, Chapter 2's main antagonist. Mommy becomes visibly angrier each and every time we successfully ace a test, and this anger is then doled out on those unfortunate toys who failed to kill us during said test. However, Mommy's wrath is more of an Easter egg to find rather than something blatantly shown to the player. For example, when leaving Bunzo's game while in the vents, we hear the clashing of his cymbals and a lot of banging, as if the poor bunny is in distress. Then upon returning to the game station, if we look up to the rafters, we can see he has now been strung up in cobwebs from the ceiling. It seems as though Mommy killed Bunzo as punishment for his failure. We also see this same fate occur to several of the mini Huggies when returning to this central arena after completing Wuggy. It would appear as though Mommy doesn't tolerate failure, even from her own kind. During Musical Memory, we are tasked with repeating a sequence of colours as they flash up on the screen. However, the further we get into this minigame, the weirder things become. Eventually, symbols are added to the mix too. Upon completing the game and getting to its 4th stage, all hell breaks loose as the announcer starts repeating an endless list of commands and new symbols appear all around us. Pay close attention to these new commands and you'll notice some of them are quite disturbing. The words massacre and ravenous are repeated. This almost certainly in relation to the killer toys influenced by mysterious entity the Prototype, who became ravenous for human flesh and massacred the entire staff after a security breach occurred. This documented in a VHS tape during Chapter 1.
Final log. In relation, Experiment 1006, the Prototype. Coordination and cooperation is evidently within his skill set, as well as the skill set of all other experiments of his type. Though still missing, today's events are no doubt in relation to him.
While exploring this warehouse full of rejected toy designs, we come across these ovens. Pull this kitchen appliance out from the wall and a neat little Easter egg can be found on its rear. The message reads, "Why do they call it oven when you of in the cold food and of out the hot eat the food?" It's a bit of a weird sentence, but this is actually an old internet meme. It began as an unintelligible tweet made back in 2013, which ended up becoming internet famous after it was edited into a Garfield copypasta in 2019. On your screen now is the original tweet and the meme version that popularized it in 2019. There are several schematics for scrapped or unused toy designs found in Poppy Playtime Chapter 2. Here we can see one for a dog called something Pooch. In Elliot Ludwig's office, a schematic for a butterfly-like toy known as Lovebug is found on this desk. Also in this rejected toy warehouse, when examining the shelving, we can see various notes detailing many scrapped toy designs and the reason why. Let's read through each one by one. Owen the Oven, rejected for multiple cases of children receiving third-degree burns. Sir Poops-a-Lot, rejected for extremely negative reception from various focus groups. Whoever's idea this was should feel ashamed, from management. Rejected Shipment, entire batch of toys is miscoloured due to Patty Hall sabotaging the painting machine. Note, saboteur has since been dealt with. Barrel of Huggies, rejected as a choking hazard. Children tried to eat from a barrel thinking it was candy. Orange Robot Toy. After considering both options, management has decided to go with Mommy Longlegs as Playtime Co.'s stretch toy concept. I personally liked him. Kick Me Paul, rejected as nobody likes him, laughed out of a presentation meeting when revealed. Daisy Marinette, rejected for being too scary for young children. Children in test audiences cry during Daisy's performance. Pet Stone, rejected as focus groups were confused. Are you out of ideas? Surprise Hare, rejected as there was not enough appeal to the design or name. Make it a chicken? The final rejected design is the most interesting, revealing that Mommy Longlegs went through 2 prior iterations which were then scrapped for being too freaky and elaborate in their design. We can see one of these designs posted on the wall behind this note, a design which looks slightly reminiscent of the baby Longlegs found on this poster. Therefore, it is possible these scrap designs were repurposed into Mommy's other family members, her husband and child. In Poppy Playtime Chapter 1, a killer version of beloved children's toy Huggy Wuggy chased our hapless hero through the factory before seemingly falling to its death, leaving a bloody trail in its wake as it bounced off various pipes and catwalks. However, Huggy may not have perished after the fall. In Chapter 2, while exploring this water-filled area and entering Bay 2, if we pay close attention to the pipes and walls in this room full of conveyors, we spot clumps of blue hair stained in blood. These hairs surely belong to Huggy, who fell into this room and managed to crawl back into the nearby vents. Another possibility is that the prototype retrieved Huggy's body and used it to add to his own, just as we saw him use Mommy Longlegs after her fatal accident later in the chapter. Whatever the reason may be, this bloody fur suggests a return of Huggy Wuggy in some form during chapters still to come. After escaping the statue minigame and reaching this area deep underground, we find a gated off room which looks uncharacteristically sinister, even for Playtime Co. Within this room is an operating theatre, complete with a wheelchair for transporting patients, a blood-stained operating table, and a heart monitor. Toys covered in blood lay strewn about the place too. We only get a good look at this creepy room when using hacks to move out of bounds. By really looking at this room up close, it further highlights how Playtime Co. were indeed using humans as lab rats for their sick experimentation. This secret area is just a hint at what will likely be a dark theme further explored in Chapter 3 of Poppy Playtime and beyond. On the lead up to Mommy Longlegs' painful demise, there are several Easter eggs that tease her eventual fate. After Mommy initiates her game of hide and seek, we fall into this underground warehouse area. Down in these darkened hallways, a poster can be found. This poster is for the grinding machine and warns users to keep the hands of their grab packs away from the mouth of the device. This is ironic as Mommy would eventually end up getting her hand caught in the machine, with a player purposely using the grab pack to then start up said grinder, vanquishing Mommy in gruesome fashion. There is also this poster which warns to keep Mommy away from fire. But shortly after, we subject the arachnid terror to both the flames of this furnace and the inferno of the underground. This exposure to fire damaging Mommy's outer shell. Speaking of Mommy Longlegs, you may remember she is dragged away by a mysterious entity known only as Experiment 1006, the prototype. At first glance, this clawed hand seems to be a robotic appendage. However, if we get up close and personal, it becomes clear that this arm contains human remains, notably bones. This once again confirms that human body parts were used during testing, though who this particular arm belongs to remains a mystery. I have made a theory giving my thoughts though, so I'll link that at the end of this video. The prototype is actually teased several times before this horrifying encounter too. We see this image of it etched into the wall here in Chapter 1, and the clawed hand also appears on the scientist's VHS audio logs in both Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. It also appears in this image at the beginning of the Mommy Longlegs commercial that plays during the opening of Chapter 2. Finally, we have a very curious Easter egg indeed. By now we know that many of the toys within Playtime Co. have been brought to life using human test subjects. But interestingly, this experimentation may also extend to the various machines found throughout the factory too. In Chapter 1 we observe these giant and very agitated looking production line machines, whose eyes follow the player as they wander about. In Chapter 2 we encounter several more, one with a broken pipe, who seems to have died as a result of this injury. It's quite creepy, isn't it? But the most telling sign of all can be found at the very end of this most recent chapter, when boarding the living train. This unfortunate locomotive derails after its brakes stop working, and as it crashes and skids across the track, we see a large splatter of blood appear and coat the train's interior. Unless there was something on the track, which we never see, it seems logical to conclude the blood came from the train itself, a living entity made from human remains, just like the other machines in the factory, and of course, the toys themselves. And with that, we come to the end of this video looking at the secrets and Easter eggs of Poppy Playtime Chapter 2. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it both entertaining and informative. If you did, then remember to leave a like, comment down below, and of course subscribe for more horror related content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.